welcome back to the podcast for episode 10. Mike and Lisa in today's episode, and they discuss relationships in bodybuilding and some of the common pitfalls they've seen over their 30 years. So about 25 minutes for today's episode, and I hope you enjoy it.
So, here we are. What's this now? Podcast number 10.
Hello.
Come on, you've always got shit to say.
I've got shit to say. Is I'm surprisingly married to you. And now the fucking plonker that comes along for the ride.
Well, you're married to him as well.
Oh, shut up, you tithead. Right, what are we going to talk about today then? Today's topic is something that I find a little bit hard to get my head around. It's this thing about having a label of a power couple. What is that all about?
Who has?
Well, just somebody slapped that on us, and I found that a little bit weird. But also why people want that sort of label. You know, I don't get it.
I think the problem is, and I don't mean this in any other way, that people see, we've been involved with this stuff for a long time now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thing is we met, I don't know if many people know this, but obviously we met through karate when we both fought for the Welsh team, etc., etc. But then we got into bodybuilding together. And then, from there we got into competing, at the same time. Then it was the sort of the behind the scenes, the judging and all the rest of it. So like we've grown up with this, and then people see that and they think, oh, that looks cool. But so they almost try and get a partner that's into training.
Yeah.
But
which is cool.
Yeah.
But then it's almost as if the opposing partner has to come up to their level, whether it be as a competitor or and it's not so much as a competition between them, but it's almost as if they're trying to make something that isn't really there. But to me, just be two individuals enjoying what you're doing, loving training, loving the eating, loving the lifestyle of it. But it doesn't mean to say the goal is to be a power couple. Somebody, one of my clients came when we were talking one day last week, and she was talking about a friend of hers that's adamant she wants to compete because that's what would make a power couple with her and her partner. And just do it because you love it because you're doing it. I
suppose,
find this a little bit weird.
Where we've been lucky on that score because we've never made each other do it.
No.
But it's something that we've both loved to do. Whereas,
but of course, I think it's because again we're like-minded people. We quite enjoy the competition within ourselves, not necessarily the competition between each other. We respect each other, don't we, Michael?
Yes, dear.
That's right. We respect each other for our own needs as well, and we support each other for our own needs, as opposed to this is almost it's just a weird ass label that I just find.
Oh, look.
Oh,
sponsored by
Coca-Cola.
So if anybody from Coca-Cola is like watching or listening, I mean,
we as a family
we drink shitloads of this stuff.
consume far too much of this stuff. I say far too much, the appropriate amount.
I was going to say, you pair, whap it back like there's no tomorrow.
This is my first one.
Yeah, right, in the last half an hour.
Yeah, that's only your fucking first one since you've been in the room.
You just spat in my face.
Respect.
Ow! Anyway,
yes. So as I said, this is something I'm finding a little bit weird at the moment. But I think on the whole, the bodybuilding, fitness, and I don't like to necessarily call it an industry as such, but the fitness pastime that is really brilliant at the moment. Is a lot of participation with people coming into the gyms and things like that. And if you find a partner in the gym, that's brilliant. But if you don't, that's brilliant as well. But as long as you've got your own self-commitment, self-drive, self-respect, don't do it for anybody else.
No, and I think, but what, like I say, this is maybe a generalization, but you see people wanting to, say, get with a partner, and but then they almost want to do it to sort of build their profile up, etc., etc. And it's not about the training. And the thing is, right, yes, we're putting out, videos on our website and on Instagram and whatever, but that's just what we do on a day-to-day basis. But we've been doing this for over 30 years. And it's not as though it's everything that we do either, but people, I think what happens is, but people come around and say, if we do get visitors at our house, they think it's going to be some sort of shrine to bodybuilding, and it's like, this is, there's not a trophy. You say, remember, like, you did that program years ago for the BBC, the documentary, and they came round and they were filming, and they said to the house, and they said, well, where's all your trophies? And you said, oh shit, do you want to really see the trophies? And you say, we had to open up the garage, and it was like, oh, see them there in a box behind all that shit in the corner there. Because we've never been one to sort of put it out on display, and it's nice, especially, being in the gym for sort of 13, 14 hours a day, to go home and there be no reminder of the gym. You've got to get away from it as well. So it's not all about that, and it is obviously, it's a huge part of our lives, but you need to get away from it sometimes as well.
Of course you do. And I mean, the thing is, though, as much as we talk about it outside of the gym and everything else, we do have lots of other things to talk about as well. But somebody said that to you a little while ago about how you've put up with, and I think that was the word, put up with the same woman for 30 years. But of course, I think as well, it's because both of us, as I say, as individuals, are still driven to improve, whether it be our physiques, whether it be our commitment to work, whether it be whatever it is, it's always about a drive to improve. And of course, the thing is, I think if you stick like that, that's what keeps everything fresh. So just as a couple, it doesn't, nothing to do with being a power couple, but as a couple, a relationship, try and keep improving. Because the thing is then, as you say, it keeps you physically and mentally alert and active. Well, of course, the thing is then, that gives us plenty to talk about.
Yeah, but also, it's not about sort of competition between us, sort of thing. So, like, as in, when we started to become involved with show promotion, judging, running events, etc., as far as judging went, I mean, you totally surpassed what I ever did. But I wasn't, I was quite happy, for years I just ran backstage at shows. Nobody saw me, and I was cool with that. And then I just sort of got thrust on, with MC and etc. But you say, as far as, the judging and the level of judging, you got to, it was never, was never jealous about that, but you sort of get that jealousy between people as well.
But of course, the thing is, we both excelled at different things. Because as you say, now a couple of weeks' time we got body power. Now, I will take charge of all the training, I'll do everything, but I won't talk on the microphone. That's your bag. So of course the thing is then, that's why I think as well, as we work as a team with a mutual respect. And that's why I said, for me, a lot of couples that are now finding new relationships in the gym and going forward is to keep that mutual respect, and that's it. And as you say, the thing is support. That's always a great thing. And a lot of times I as I've said over numerous podcasts. I work ridiculous hours, but I cannot do that without you, because you do everything else for me. In as far as you allow me to be able to keep working all the different hours, purely and simply, obviously, so you can just get away from me. I understand that, but of course, as I said, the thing is, the way you are allows me to be the way I am.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, neither of us are stupid enough to realise that we couldn't do what we do without each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but again, as you say, it's the mutual respect and support that takes it. And never, when you are in a relationship with a competitive bodybuilder, you know, there will be down times, there will be hard times, there will be mood swings, and that's male and female. Times when we'd have to have words because you just completely blanked off from the kids. But, you know, you got through it, we all got through it as a family. And prep will make or break relationships, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, as you say, a lot of girls and boys will see their partners in the gym for the first time and everything's wonderful when it's off season, but when they get into prep, they just turn into different people. You know, but that's one thing that we would never allow each other to do through prep, is to take it out on each other, apart from when I used to feed everybody, or turn into somebody else, because the thing is, as I said, mutual respect.
Exactly.
Stop talking about him, here he comes. Hey, buddy.
Carry on.
Yeah, so, you know, with that in mind then, so you say, you know, we both started this, well, just through a love of training, and we both went on to compete. Then we both were involved in sort of shows, you know, judging and running the shows to various extents. You know, what would, you know, as far as bodybuilding now, you know, what's your goals then?
Ooh, tricky.
That's why I asked it.
Good question.
I know.
Okay. I remember. Goals wise, I would probably say the only one thing that I haven't done that I would love to do is judge the Olympia. But again, you know, time is there. There's plenty of time. I mean, at the moment, we're doing so much with so many other different aspects of bodybuilding, which is brilliant. And it's not so much goals. It's now I don't think I've achieved my goals, but I just want to keep doing what I'm enjoying, and I absolutely love training quality people. Absolutely love it. That I get so much from it, but also then to get so much from it just when they train and everything else, but then to be part of their journey to actually get them to the stage, and then they do really, really well on the stage, and it's brilliant. But it's not, and I absolutely love working with them, but it's what their families get out of it as well. That is absolutely the best feeling, because the thing is, you've worked and you understand how hard that they work, but when you've got a family unit where the partner has supported the individual so much, and the children are there, and you know what they all get from it, that's worth everything. Because the thing is, then it is surprising how much of an influence, not me, I don't mean that, but how much of an influence this sport has on individuals. One, to make them believe how far they can possibly go. Two, to make them believe that actually they can do things as opposed to they can't. Changing them as in their confidence, but also then, as you say, it's that respect again, the mutual respect they'll have from their families that they actually have achieved.
Yeah.
So when you've been part of that, so goals, yeah, I'd love to do the top of the tree, but I'm just getting so much from bodybuilding. But also then seeing competitors at high level and being part of their training at the moment it's the best feeling. You know, pushing people that little bit further, and getting them through barriers that they've built for themselves breaking those barriers down, going forward and watching them develop as athletes, as people, you know, that again, that's the best for me.
Yeah.
So what's yours then, Old Man River?
Yeah, I think as far as sort of shows go, it's cool. You know, we still got our show in September. May get involved with a couple of others, but to be honest, I think that's what I'm not saying I'm done, but I'm done with the amount, that we've done over the years, with various organisations. So the travelling, well, all over the country and the world,
Sorry, but just on that, going back just before, the whole point of this was the power couple, right? But as you saying then about the travelling and everything else, people think what we did week after week after week was glamorous. Let me tell you now, it isn't. It really, really isn't. It is so hard when you wake up in a hotel room every weekend and you have not got a clue where you are. And when you're 50 weeks out of 52 we spent in a hotel room, it isn't glamorous. And truly, I think if it wasn't for the, again, support and respect we have for each other, that would have broken any couple, because it was literally, it got to the point that the only time we actually really spoke was on a 4, 5, 6 hour journey to another destination. We would literally, and as I said, I would be working and I'd get in the car of a morning and I'd say to you, right, where are we going and what are we doing? Because I truly did not have any idea if it was going to be a posing course, if it was a show, if it was a talk. There was literally so much we were doing weekend after weekend, and people do think it's a glamorous lifestyle, but it truly, truly isn't. So of course the thing is, as you say, it's got to the point that is the fun of it.
So I think as far as shows go, I still, for me, especially at a show, I do, the bit that I like the most is when, because usually I'm on stage, emceeing the show or stage directing or whatever, so I'm quite close to the competitors, like physically close, and I can see how much it means to them, and then that reminds you of when you were on stage. So I still want a certain aspect of that, and I think our own show, one or two others, that's cool for me. I'm sort of done with doing it every week, even every month, and I think the whole sort of shows, there's so many organisations, and and it's just in a big state of flux at the moment. It's good for the competitors because they've got a lot of choice, but I think there's just almost too much going on. But I think over the next couple of years we're going to see maybe some go ahead of others, some falling by the wayside, but we'll just see. But for me though, the reason that we got into this in the first place is that love of training. And you say, for me, and I know we still train every day. Apart from a couple, 1 or 2 days, and on some of those days it's twice a day. Those aren't long sessions, but we still love to do that. And then it's about, you say, I'm really enjoying working with people that want to do it, and that are willing to push themselves to the limit. Because I've been saying, people have been giving us feedback on training plans that we've been sending them, and I'm loving these. These are really good. And I said, but it's cool. But you're the ones who are still doing the work. But it's just that, as you say, it's that making people believe that they can actually work that little bit harder, and getting them to improve those weak body parts, etc. But what we don't get a chance to do this that much, and my goal is to actually sort of do it together. So we may be in the gym 13, 14 hours a day, but you know, we just catch glimpses of each other, you know, and believe it or not, we actually, that's what we love to do, is actually work together. Don't we?
Yes.
Don't we?
Yes.
No, but...
No, it is, because again, going back to, and you, as you say, we grew up in this, but we've actually grown into this, and we are, don't get me wrong, we are still two individuals in a marriage. We're not half of the same one, you know, we're not, you know, because the thing is, we do have similar opinions, and then we do have very different opinions. But of course, as you say, when we get together, whether it's training, work, stage, whatever, we work so well together, because the thing is, we don't compete with each other. We respect each other, but we work well together. There's so often that we'll be doing things and I don't even have to say anything and you know exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, when we're training somebody who wants to be trained and who's willing to do whatever we tell them, you know, people turn around and say, "Oh, did you?" You know, you just look at each other and you know exactly what, and you know. But when we feed off each other, but also then we feed off that person that's willing to do the work, and it just gets better and better, you know. So I mean, for me, that's the thing, is sort of working together more, because, you know, but also I know that means that people that we train will get much more out of that as well. So that's the sort of the goals. We got the Body Power Expo coming up soon, where, you know, we've been sorting out timetables for the underground, as it's going to be called this year, where, you know, we're going to do a few training sessions ourselves, and then other people training sessions and Q&As, etc. So, you know, that's quite good to be involved with that. You know, and we got a little trip away where we're going to be training a few people, etc. So, but for me, that's the thing, is to carry on doing what we love to do, and you know, I think people are sort of strange, how can you still be training like you do after 30 odd years? Because that's and
also exactly, because the thing is, the passion is still strong to train, but the competing is done. It's done. We've done that. Bought the t-shirt, broke the trophy, moved on. But as you say, the competition within ourselves to improve is still as strong as it was the first day we walked into the gym. And sometimes, is competing a negative? I think it can be, because then it gets to the point that some people just don't even like to train anymore. Well, in that case, ditch competing. Just get back into what you enjoyed. Because the thing is, then, the passion, the drive and enthusiasm for life continues. Because when you feel happy with what you're doing in a pastime, everything else is good.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you hear people saying, "Oh, you know, I'm not enjoying my training," and it's like, that's I find it quite sad, really. Yeah. Because surely that's, you know, I think it is.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah, it is slightly different these days. Because I know you've said, "Oh, well, people don't come to the gym saying they want to compete." I don't know, because of social media, I think sometimes you do get that. Well, in fact, we had somebody come to visit, didn't we, the other week? The guy brought his son, and he said, "Oh, you know, he wants him to compete." So yeah, you know, that's, and he's straight away talking about his Instagram, and you know, and I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute here, you know, and you say, okay, so there is that slight difference, but most of us that have been around for a little while, you know, you get into it because you just love training, and then the competing comes later. So when people say, "Oh, well, you know, the training is just a means to an end. It's like, well, no, go back to what, you know, to fall in love with that training again, rather than thinking, oh, because the thing is, then for me, you're never going to put the effort in. You know, if you're going to the gym thinking, I don't like to train, this is a chore, well, for me, you're never going to get the results you want, because you're not going to put the effort into it.
No. The thing is, sometimes when you say that for over 30 years, it's well over 30 years, but it doesn't feel like it.
No.
You know, it just doesn't feel like it at all.
And that's the thing I think we should sort of finish on, because Laz has given me
the finger.
The finger, yeah. So, yeah, you know, we've been doing this for sort of 35, 36 years. We've done a lot of qualifications, you know, university, you know, all the rest of it. But the thing is, there are people out there who try and make themselves the experts, okay, which is cool. But anybody who tells you they know it all, I always say run a mile from them, because the more you're in this, the more you realise how little you know and there still is to learn. You know, and I think it's about... I don't
think that's training.
No.
I think that's life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but really, as far as being a power couple is concerned, yeah, right, whatever. But who could not love this little chuchy face?
Exactly. Ow.
Good. 30 years and still going. Peace.
What have I got to do now? Press stop.